Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but life just keeps knocking you down? Meet Sarah. She was smart, hardworking, and had a great attitude, but for some reason, she kept losing her job. First, it was company downsizing. The next time, her department was eliminated. Then, a startup she joined went under. It felt like a cruel joke. Every morning, Sarah would wake up, polish her resume, and start the job hunt all over again. She applied for dozens, then hundreds of positions. She networked, she cold called, she did everything the career gurus advised, but all she got were polite rejections or worse, complete silence. The savings account dwindled, and the bills piled up. Her reflection in the mirror started to look like a stranger, her eyes hollow with frustration and exhaustion. Sarah had always been a person of faith. She went to church every Sunday, prayed daily, and found comfort in her Bible. But as the months of unemployment stretched into a year, then too, a bitter seed of doubt began to sprout in her heart. She'd pray, "God, where are you? Don't you see me struggling? I've been faithful. I've worked hard. Why is this happening?" The silence from heaven felt louder than the rejection emails in her inbox. Eventually, she just stopped. She stopped going to church, where everyone's cheerful updates about their blessed lives felt like a slap in the face. She stopped opening her Bible, because the promises inside felt empty. She stopped praying, because it felt like talking to a wall. She felt completely and utterly alone, abandoned by the God she thought she could always count on. Her hope had completely dried up. One afternoon, while doom scrolling at a coffee shop, she bumped into an old friend from her former church, Jessica. Jessica's smile was as warm as ever. "Sarah, I've been thinking about you. How have you been?" Sarah tried to put on a brave face, but her eyes gave her away. She ended up pouring out her story of job loss and lost faith. Instead of offering platitudes, Jessica listened patiently. Then she said, "I know it's been a while, but would you consider coming to church with me this Sunday? There's a guest speaker, and the topic is something that really helped me once. It is called 'God Might Be Waiting for You While You Think You Are Waiting on Him.'" Sarah was hesitant. The last place she wanted to be was church. But something in Jessica's gentle invitation felt different. She hadn't seen her in years, and the timing felt significant. Reluctantly, she agreed. That Sunday, Sarah sat in the back, ready to bolt at any moment. But the speaker's words cut through her cynicism. He spoke about how sometimes when we feel like God is silent, it's not because He's absent, but because He's waiting for us to take a new step. He's waiting for us to grow, to learn, to prepare for the bigger thing He has planned. The message wasn't about just waiting passively. It was about active preparation. "What can you be doing right now?" the speaker asked, "to get ready for the door God is about to open?" A tiny spark ignited in Sarah's heart. For the first time in a long time, she felt a glimmer of something other than despair. She went home and looked at her outdated resume. The world had changed in the 2 years she'd been job hunting. Maybe she needed to change with it. Inspired, she signed up for an online course to learn a new, in-demand skill in digital marketing. It was a small step, but it felt monumental. It was an act of faith, not in a job appearing out of thin air, but in preparing for a future she couldn't yet see. As she worked on her course, she felt a pull to reconnect with her faith community, but in a different way. She didn't want to just sit in a pew and feel sorry for herself. She wanted to serve. She decided to volunteer as an usher at Jessica's church. It was a humble role, just greeting people and handing out bulletins, but it gave her a sense of purpose. It shifted her focus from her own problems to making others feel welcome. A few weeks later, a man visiting the church for the first time arrived late, looking a little lost and flustered. Sarah greeted him with a warm, genuine smile. "Don't worry, you're right on time," she whispered, quickly finding him a seat. She checked on him after the service, making sure he felt connected and not just another face in the crowd. Her natural people skills, honed by years of customer service and now softened by humility, shone through. The man, whose name was David, was incredibly impressed. "You have a real gift for making people feel at ease," he said. "I run a company, and finding people with your kind of emotional intelligence is rare. What do you do for a living?" Sarah took a deep breath. For the first time, her answer was different. "Well, I've been in transition," she said honestly. "But I've just finished a certification in digital marketing to update my skill set." David's eyes lit up. You're kidding? We've been searching for a marketing and client relations manager for 3 months. I've interviewed dozens of candidates, but no one had the right blend of technical skill and genuine people skills. You seem to have both. He handed her his business card. Send me your new resume. I want to interview you on Monday. Sarah was stunned. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a divine connection. The skill she had just learned, the skill she acquired during her waiting period, was the exact key needed to unlock this door. The role she took as a volunteer, a role she took to serve others, placed her in the exact right place at the exact right time. She went home that day with tears in her eyes, but they were tears of gratitude, not despair. She realized God hadn't been ignoring her prayers. He was answering them, just not in the way she expected. He was waiting for her to grow, to learn, and to position herself for a blessing far greater than any job she had lost. Her period of waiting wasn't a punishment. It was a preparation. The job she got was better, the pay was higher, and the work was more fulfilling than anything she had done before. Her lowest point became the foundation for her greatest comeback. So if you're in a season of waiting, if you feel like your prayers are hitting the ceiling, remember Sarah. Maybe, just maybe, God is waiting for you while you think you're waiting on Him. What new skill can you learn? Who can you serve? What step of faith can you take today to prepare for the amazing future He has in store for you? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories.